Owners don't know. Owners don't always know their aircraft very well, and they don't always know everything that's wrong with the airplane. I've been at this 38 years, and I actually just sold an aircraft about 5 years ago to a guy, and we got into the inspection, and they actually sent an attorney A&P out to do the inspection on the airplane. What can go wrong with this thing? Actually, nothing. This lady came out, and she knew her stuff. She knew the airplane, and she knew how to fly the airplane really well too. And so, you know, it's that rare occasion that someone comes out that really knows their stuff, and she was one of them, and very impressive. And she pointed out to me that the landing gear AD was 12 years out of annual, or out of compliance. It had been overlooked by that many people, AIs, that many times, and it was very complex how it was arrived at that. These weren't stupid people that just didn't know. It just sometimes you just don't know. And she was smart enough and found it, and it cost me $6,000 to sell the airplane. But had she not caught it, the new owner, you know, an annual or two down the road, and someone finds out and, you know, and sees it, notices it, that's a big hickey on an airplane. So good for them that they caught it. And you know, I paid for that part on the annual. But that's what I mean by the owners don't always know. Don't take their word for it. Okay, this one's probably going to generate a lot of emails and trolls coming at me on this. This is just my opinion and my experience, okay? And this applies on both sides. Look, in aviation, there are honest people, and there's a lot of not so honest, and there's just a lot of crooks out there too. By and large, it's pretty easy to buy an airplane from people that are just honest. Just a lot of times, like I was saying before, they may not know about a problem with the airplane, so it's your job to find that out. The other one is, if you're buying an airplane through a broker, a lot of brokers don't want to know what's wrong with the airplane, because then they have to explain it. They want to sell you the airplane, and they're representing the buyer. Okay, it's not an indictment on the brokers. Don't fill up my mailbox again. You need to understand that a broker represents the seller, not you. I don't care how friendly they are. They don't represent you. It's always incumbent upon you. It's your responsibility to learn what's wrong with this airplane before you purchase it. Okay? It's always your responsibility. It's not the broker's responsibility, and it's not the owner's responsibility. Should they tell you? Yes, if they know, but it's your responsibility. Another thing is that you learn the hard way sometimes is one guy's 10 is another guy's 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. You know, just because this guy says this thing's immaculate doesn't mean it's immaculate to you. I'm a very picky owner, and keep everything clean and like everything on the aircraft to work at all times. Some people aren't like that, and they still think the airplane is, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, half this stuff doesn't work. So always remember that. Just because a guy tells you on the phone that the airplane's immaculate doesn't mean, you know, it's a 10 on a 10. It may be a 5 when you get there. You can never take a bad airplane and make it a good one. What do I mean by that? Way back 10 years ago, I had just an outstandingly beautiful K-model Bonanza. And I redid the panel because the airframe was wonderful and had a new engine in it, and I put new upholstery in it, a new panel in it with new avionics. It was like brand new. This guy came to the airport and said, I love your Bonanza. I just bought one. I'm going to cherry it out like yours. He shows up with this airplane, and it has a hole corroded completely through the cowling, through some places in the wings, and you could see where the airplane had been. Two Bonanzas had been mated into one. You can't fix this stuff, guys. He threw a ton of money at that airplane. And last I heard, it went and was put in storage. You can't do it. You'll never make it. So don't make that mistake. Guys, that's a wrap for episode 2 of How to Buy Your Own Airplane. Listen, join us for episode 3. We're going to get into factory reman versus field service overhauls. That's definitely something you need to know about before you purchase an airplane. And as always, thank you so much for going out to FatTireCowboys.com and buying our merchandise. It's greatly appreciated. We're having a lot of fun doing this. So join us for part 3. Viva LaRosa!